We can't seem to put a finger on this guy at all, sir, Detective Lieutenant Pulaski said to the district attorney. We know that he's blackmailing these people, but we can't figure how or what about. District Attorney Waters ran a neatly manicured hand through his silvery hair and frowned at the report on his desk. These are big people, Pulaski. We can't let this phony crystal gazer get away with this. What can he have on them anyway? What can they possibly have in their past that they're willing to pay him to keep quiet about? That's the strangest part of the whole thing, sir. We've checked into the past of every one of the people Murat has been working on, and so far we haven't been able to find a thing they could be blackmailed for. I see. Then why? We don't know. All we do know is that nearly all the people he's approached have paid him off. Nearly all? You mean some of them haven't? Approximately 25 of them have kicked in with very large sums of money. Doctors, lawyers, politicians, and prominent business executives. Murat is so sure of himself that he even takes checks. We can't touch him because no one will make a complaint. They won't tell how he's doing it. In fact, they won't even admit they're being blackmailed. Whatever it is, they're scared to death of him. What about the ones who don't pay off? There were 5 of them. They had Murat kicked out of their offices, but within a week of his visit, they all committed suicide. I don't get it, the DA said angrily. There must be something you and your men are missing. I just wish that were true, Pulaski said sadly. Well, I guess we'll have to turn him loose. If you people can't get any evidence against him, we have no other choice. I hate like hell to do it, but we can't hold him on suspicion any longer. Tell you what, the DA said as the other man turned to leave. Before you do that, bring him up here. I'd like to see him, and maybe I can get something out of him. The detective looked worried. He's awfully funny, Mr. Waters. Are you sure you want to do this? Most of the men at headquarters prefer to stay as far away from him as possible. Well, no wonder you've been unable to get anything on him. Bring him up here and I'll question him myself. I guarantee I'll find out how he's blackmailing these people. A short time later, 2 police officers escorted a small, dark man into the district attorney's office. He seemed insignificant enough except for his eyes, which glowed and sparkled strangely. These seemingly bottomless pools of mystery made the DA uneasy as Murat took a seat opposite him. To hide his disquiet, Waters spoke loudly and brusquely. I'll come straight to the point with you, Murat. We know you've been practicing blackmail, but we don't know how you're doing it. We'll find out sooner or later, of course, but you'll make it easier on yourself if you tell us all about it now. The man's thin lips curved into a smile. I'll be glad to tell you all about it, Mr. Waters. What? You mean you'll confess? I'll tell you about it, Mr. Waters. We won't need your stenographer. What is all this? If you're so willing to confess, why didn't you tell them down at headquarters? Determined not to let the man see how nervous he was becoming, Waters nodded to the stenographer to leave. He wished, suddenly, that he had never sent for Murat. It would hardly have been worth my while, Mr. District Attorney, to confess to those non-entities. I knew that if I waited long enough, you would send for me. How could you possibly know that? I knew, Mr. Waters. I knew. The man must be lying, but his eyes said he wasn't. Those eyes. They were enough to drive a man mad. Then suppose you tell me what it was you knew about the past of those persons who paid you such huge sums of money. I know nothing of their pasts, nothing. What I know about them, Edmund Waters, is in the future. What? Waters felt suffocated, as though he were about to choke. It was those eyes, those unblinking, unwavering, somehow truthful eyes. Could they see into the future? Into his future? Murat leaned back in his chair with a smile of satisfaction and dropped his eyes from the DA's face. So you see, Mr. Waters, it was really very simple. I just went to these people and told them that I could see into the future and that I wanted money. You mean that they paid you for keeping something secret that they were going to do in the future? For not telling others? No, not secret from others, Mr. Waters. For keeping it a secret from them. You see, I know when you are going to die. The year, the day, and the hour. But for a rather large sum of money and your protection, I won't tell you. The district attorney's hand had already reached for his checkbook. How much? He asked.
Big thank you to all of my incredible Patreon supporters, as always, particularly Andre D, Break System BSE, Michael Fattori, Zachary Snowden-Smith, and Zanazira. I'm now on Blue Sky. I don't know how often I'm actually going to post to it, but I'm on there, and I won't be posting to Instagram anymore. But all the updated links should be in the description. Thanks for watching, and thanks for being you.